Welcome to next lecture of compiler design, that is on machine independent optimizations. I am Dr. Parul Yadav, assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Institute of Engineering and Technology, Lucknow. In today's lecture, we will basically focus on code optimization techniques, principal sources of optimization and some code optimization technique with a very simple example. So, next is the what is actually code optimization. We already know that here we using that compiler, and input to compiler is a source program. Now, the source program translates the source program written in high level language into the object code that could be written in assembly language or machine level language code. So, actually we can say the input to the compiler is actually the specification of some computation. So, here we have some specification as input and the compiler will produce the target code or we can say the object program, and this object program is actually the another representation of the same computation, another specification of the same computation. So, if we are talking this compiler, then here we have many phases, and among all phases one phase is code optimization phase. Now, here code optimization basically we can say some translations, some transformations and some improvement into the code will be done, and here we will obtain the object code. Now, for each source program there can be infinitely many objects program. So, this is the translator, and the same, so for same source program we can have many or infinitely many object programs. It depends what type of transformations have taken place over here. But all the translations, all the specifications that we are getting as output of the compiler, they implement the same computation. Same computation in sense, if we pass some input to particular specification, then the same output will be produced by from each and every specification. So, in terms of output, in terms of computation, they are same. So, some of these object program may be better than other with regard to some criteria like size and speed. So, we know that all these specifications are same in terms of computation. Now, how we are distinguish them? We are distinguishing them based on their how performance, how they are performing, or performing in some, how much time is required or how much space is required by the object program. So, some of them can be considered as better. So, if we are doing the translation here, then we are getting here actually the better object code. Actually, theoretically it is impossible to generate the best object code for every source program. User may write any source program. So, it is theoretically impossible to generate the best object code for every source program written by a user. So, what we do here actually, our objective is to get a better code. So, for getting the better code, we perform some translations and some improvement into the code to so that the resultant code is good in size or improved in size, or we can say the speed. So, actually we do here code improvement, but theoretically what term we use? We use a term code optimization, because if we are reducing the size and increasing the speed, we can say we have optimized our code. So, here we will focus on code optimization. So, what is code optimization? It is a technique that a compiler employs to produce better object code. Better object code mean the code that is smaller in size and faster in speed. So, this is it will produce only the better code. So, this is code optimization. Now, there are three criteria for optimization. Criteria are, does the optimization capture most of the potential improvements without an unreasonable amount of efforts, either by the compiler implementer or by the compiler itself. So, it should capture most of the potential improvements without amount of efforts. Now, does the optimization preserves the meaning of the source program. So, meaning should be preserved. Now, does the optimization at least on the average reduce the time as well as the space taken by the object program, because we are doing the optimization and we are focusing on time or space. So, it should be on an average better in on these two parameters after performing the optimization techniques. Now, next is what are the principal sources of optimization. So, principal sources are optimization is generally done after, it is generally applied after syntax analysis. It is also applied before and during code generation phase of the compiler. So, what we do here in this technique, we detect the pattern in the program. So, this is in nutshell what we will do, we will detect the pattern and then we will replace these patterns with the equivalent version. So, or the version that is efficient in terms of the constructs used in it. So, it will detect the pattern and then we will replace those patterns with some efficient constructs, but the thing is they should be equivalent in nature in terms of computation, we can say. And pattern, what is the criteria for pattern? Pattern can be matched in local context or as well as in global context. Local context or global context, here I can specify now. In previous class we talked about blocks, and we talked about we can do the optimization within the block or outside the block. So, this gives us the idea of local or global. Some of the patterns can be found within the block or some patterns can be found outside the block also. Next is the replacements. So, if we are doing the replacements, we in the previous classes we already talked about 3-pass compiler. We talked about where the optimization schemes. So, optimization schemes can be of two types, machine dependent or machine independent optimization. So, here the replacements can be machine dependent or machine independent. Independent means independent of the architecture or the processor or the operating system that we are using. The all optimization will be generic in nature, while here all optimization will be specific in nature. So, in today's class we will focus on machine independent optimization. So, but these optimization techniques can be applied to dependent version also. Now, other sources for optimization, the richest source for optimization is the efficient utilization of register and efficient utilization of instruction set of machine. Now, the inner loop, if we talk about any program, so the most important section is the loop. If we have loop in the program, because heavily traveled part of the program is the loop. So, and the loop will have many statements into it. So, it is quite possible that the sum of the statements can be kept outside the loop, or some of the computation can be kept outside the loop. So, we can reduce the loop, we can keep any number of instructions outside the loop, but we will try to reduce number of instruction inside the loop to reduce the runtime of the program. So, here the major target of this inner loop is a major target of optimization, and here we can use 90-10 rule. So, here 90% of time is spent in 10% of code. So, here the example is in inner loop optimization, example is removal of loop invariant computation. Loop invariant computation mean the computation that is loop invariant, mean that can be kept outside the loop also. It is not required to keep some computation inside the loop. So, such computation can be kept outside the loop. So, it will not be required. Suppose there is C is equal to A plus B, this is the computation, and this is suppose change it, suppose C is equal to A minus 2, and A is not changing inside the loop also, every time C value is constant. So, we can keep this A minus 2 outside the loop also. If we keep it inside the loop, then every time when the loop will execute, this computation will be done every time. So, we can keep it outside the loop. Now, there are 3 interleaved areas. So, this touches the 3 interleaved areas, they are local optimization, loop optimization and data flow analysis. Now, we will take one simple example where we will try to study the code optimization techniques, and code optimization techniques, that is basically machine independent code optimization technique, and these techniques are semantic preserving transformations. They will follow semantic preserving transformations. We can say we will try to protect the meaning, that the meaning of transformation should not change. So, here we will take very simple example. We are taking the example of quick sort. This is a standard algorithm for quick sort. So, it is having some the declaration section, and here we are initializing the variable, then while for 1, and then there are 2 while loops inside it, then there is if condition, and if this condition is met, then we will break from it and we will come out at this particular statement, and further we are calling the procedure for the some another value of m and n, right. So, this is the generic procedure, or we can say recursive procedure for quick sort. Now, here I am not explaining the procedure here, rather we will focus on optimization technique. So, for doing the optimization, first we will obtain the 3 address code. So, this is the 3 address code for the given source program. I will highlight the major area of the 3 address code over here. We can see these are we start from here actually, I is equal to m minus 1 and j is equal to n. So, I is equal to m minus 1 and j is equal to n. Now, next is v is equal to a at n, v is equal to a at n. So, this is an array at for index n, and then we are setting it to v. So, just see here T1 is equal to 4 into n, and then a at T1 is set to v, right. So, 2 instructions are required here. Now, see now here we have the loop, this is I is equal to I plus 1 while a of I is less than v. So, I is equal to I plus 1, simply I is equal to I plus 1. Now, here we have while a at I is less than v. So, we will go back to this particular statement till this condition is true. So, here if this condition is true, mean a at I is what 4 into I, we will taking in T2, then a at T2 we are setting it to T1 and T3. Now, T3 is less than v, will go to I plus 1, I is equal to I plus 1. So, we will write it in the form of conditional go to statement. So, if this condition is met, we will go to statement 5, we will go to statement 5. Similarly, we can write the 3 address code for this one, j is equal to j minus 1 while a of j is greater than v. So, j is equal to j minus 1 and when this is greater than. So, j is equal to j minus 1 and when it was less, when it is greater. So, what we will do, T4 is equal to 4 into j. Now, a at T4 we are setting it to T5. Now, we will compare. If it is true, then we will go to this particular statement. So, we will write here go to 9. Okay. Now, next is here we have the if condition, if I is greater than or equal to j, then we will break out of all these lines and we will come here x is equal to a at I. So, here we are checking if this is greater than or equal to j, then we will go to this particular statement for x is equal to a at I, and this is the way how we are doing so in 2 statements. So, from here we will move to this. If this condition is not true, then we will execute these all statements in sequence. First we will execute all these statements in sequence. So, this is the 3 address code for given implementation. Now, for doing the optimization we will proceed step by step. Now, next step is to find the basic blocks. Now, for finding the basic blocks, first we need to find what is the leader in every block. So, we will look at the leader. How to find leader? We know the first statement of the program is called as the leader. This is the first rule for finding the leader. Now, second rule is target statement of every conditional, unconditional go to a label is the leader. So, here we can say this is the conditional go to and its target statement is statement 5. So, this can be the leader. Similarly, go to 9. So, this can be the leader. Now, this 23, this can be the leader. So, these instructions are leader 1, 5, 9 and 23, just remember it. Now, next possibility, the instruction just after the go to is a leader, or the just after the go to can be the leader. So, this is the go to statement and after this we have this statement, here we have this statement. So, this can also be the leader. Now, just after it we have already considered. Now, this go to is pointing to 5, we have already considered 5 as leader. So, these all are the leaders in the program. I hope I have covered all. This is a leader, this is a leader, this is a leader, okay. Then this is a leader and then this is a leader, okay, yeah. Now, this is the go to and next statement to go to will also be the leader, then this will also be the leader. So, here we have marked all the leaders. Now, we will prepare the basic blocks. How we will prepare the basic block? In basic block, we will start from the leader 1, this is leader 1 and we will keep on adding all instructions till we are meeting to second leader. So, this is the instruction leader 1 and we will keep all in these instructions in block 1. So, this will be block 1. Now, next is the block 2. So, this will have the leader 2 and all instructions after it till we are reaching this one. So, this will be I is equal to I plus 1, this all will be kept in block 2. Now, next leader we can say this is at B1, B2. Now, this will start from 9, right, 9 to 12 we can say. So, this is our leader and this is again a leader and this is again a leader, alright. Now, we should proceed. Now, block 3 this will have j minus 1 up to here. So, this will be block 3. Now, this is the leader, this is having only one statement because after this statement itself is a leader. So, this will be the block 4. Now, next is to find block 5 and block 6. So, what we can say here we have this is the leader and this is the leader, right. So, we have covered all the leaders up to here, all the statements up to here. We already know that every 3 statement will come exactly in one block. So, now we have T6 equal to 4i. So, we will start to implement block 5 T6 equal to 4i and we will keep all statements up to here because this is the next leader. So, we will keep all statements up to go to 5. So, here go to 5 mean this particular statement and it is residing in block B2, So, here we will write go to B2 rather than writing go to 5. So, this will be block 5 and similarly we can design block 6. What will be in block 6? In block 6 we will have a statement from here to here, this will be our block 6, this one from here to here. So, T11 is equal to 4i, T at T15 is equal to x. So, we have found all the leaders and using the leaders we have obtained all the basic blocks. Now, next step is to obtain the flow graph. So, in flow graph we will see this is our code and these all are blocks B1, B2, B3, B4, B5 and B6. Now, we will mark the flow predecessor, we will find the predecessor and successor and we will mark the flow over here. So, here we can say after executing all these statements of block 1, we will immediately execute block 2. So, this is block 2, we will mark the arrow like this. Now, next if this condition is met, we will go to block 2. So, here we will mark the self loop. Now, after B2, immediately after B2 we have block 3. So, this is block 3. If this condition is met, we will go to block 3. So, we will have, we are having here again the loop. Now, next statement is if I is greater than or equal to j, we will go to B6. So, this is this particular statement and here if this is true, we will go to B6 and what is B6? B6 is the whole part. So, we will mark transition like this. If this is false, then we will go to this mean if this is false, then we will execute this particular block. Now see here what we have in B5, after executing up to here we have go to 5. So go to 5 mean go to B2. So here after this we will mark a loop from this to B2. So this is the flow graph for the given quicksort program. So up to here we obtained the 3 address code and finally we obtained its flow graph. This is nothing but the graphical representation for 3 address code. Now we will discuss the code optimization techniques. So in code optimization we will use the transformations that preserve the semantics of the code. So there are many techniques like local common sub expression elimination, global common sub expression, that code elimination, code motion, code propagation, reduction in strength and induction variable elimination, like that. So we will discuss some of the technique for code optimization in this class and remaining techniques will be covered in next class. So first is the local common sub expression. So this is an expression which was previously computed and values of the variable have not changed since the previous computation. So the expressions that are previously computed, but the value of the variable has not been changed. So at the later stage we will not recompute the values. So we will avoid recomputing such expressions and we use its previously computed values. Now see the local, suppose we have the block B5. In B5 we have T6 is equal to 4 into I and then we have further statements. So here we have T7 is equal to 4 into I. So here we are computing 4 into I, then 4 into I, and in between this there is value of I is not changed. It means there is no need to recompute T7, rather we can eliminate this T7 and wherever T7 is required we can directly use T6. So just see we can eliminate this local common sub expression. Local mean within the block. We are finding common sub expressions within the block. So here T6 is equal to 4 into I. Now x is equal to a at T6. Now we eliminated this instruction. Now we will copy T8 is equal to 4 into j. T9 is equal to a at T8. Now a at 7, a at T7. Now this is actually, this should be replaced by T6. So this is a at T6 is equal to T9. Now T10, this is equal to 4j. Again this is 4j and this is 4j, and in between that value of j is not changed. So again we can eliminate this, and wherever T10 is there we can write T8. So here we will write, in place of T10 we can write T10 is equal to x go to B2. So this is with respect to local common sub expression elimination. Now next is global common sub expression. So in global actually we will find the common sub expression inter block also. So we will look at all the blocks and then we will try to eliminate local global common sub expression. But here we have to be very careful while removing that the value should not change. Now see, this is block B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6. Now just we will focus on block B5 and B6 only, B5 and B6. So here we can say that just see T6 is equal to 4 into I, and this see here T2 is equal to 4 into I, and here we are computing T2 with respect to I, and first I value of I is increased and then we are computing it on updated value. Then we will go to this loop, again value will be changed, then we are using the updated value. Then this loop will execute, then we will come over this block, then this block, and in between that no change, there is no change in value of 5. So it mean it is taking the same value as it is taken over here. So T6 is equal to 4I will give the same value as T2, right. So we can eliminate this computation. Now see, T3 is equal to a at T2 and this is x is equal to a at T6. So there is no need to compute again this one, x is what? X is actually x is nothing but x is equal to, this can be equal to T3 only, T3 only, right. So, what we are doing here, we will directly writing x is equal to T3 and we can eliminate this computation. Similarly, T7 what? 4 into I, we can eliminate it. T8 is equal to 4 into j. Now, look at here 4 into j, this one 4 into j, this is T4, and now A at T4 will give us T5, A at T4 will give us T5. So, this is actually T4 and A at T4 is giving us T5. So, this will be T5, we can say T9. So, A at T7, right, A at T7, this is A at T7 mean we can write here which instruction I am talking here, T7, and T7 is this one T4. So, this will be A at T4 and this will be equal to, A at T4 will be equal to T9 and this is T9 and T9 is holding the value that is of T9 will hold, this is T9, T at T8 and this is A at T8, mean this is j with respect to j, and with respect to j we have value in 8, let me check here, A at T2 is equal to 5, T5, A at T2 is equal to 5 and x is equal to T3, x is equal to T3 and we can just copy, yeah, this one A at T10, A at T10, what is T10 here? T10 is this one 4 into j, yes, this is 4 into j and 4 into j is T4. So, A at T4 is equal to x, yes, right. And next we have go to B2. So, in this way we can do the optimization in block B4. Similarly, we can do optimization in B6. What we have? T11 is equal to 4 into I, we can eliminate T11, x is equal to T11, A at T11, A at T11 mean this one T3. So, we can directly write x is equal to T3. Now, next is this has been done. Now, this we can eliminate this, 4 into I, it is computed here, and 4 into n, this is computed here, mean with respect to T1, and this is with respect to T2. Now, T14 is what? A at T13 mean A at T1. So, we can say here T14 is equal to A at T1, this is done. Now, A at T12 mean T2. So, A at T2 is equal to this particular value, mean A at T2 is equal to T14. Now, next is this is done. Now, T15 is equal to 4n, 4n has already been computed. So, this is nothing but T1. So, in place of A at 15 we can write A at T1 and this will be equal to x. So, this will be equal to x. So, in this way we eliminated the local common sub expression as well as global common sub expressions. So, in today's class we focus on how do we do machine independent code optimizations. We talked about what is optimization. Basically, in optimization we are improving our code, we are obtaining the better code and for doing the optimization there are many techniques like local common sub expression elimination, global common sub expression elimination, code propagation, code motion, inductive variable, reduction in strength and many more. So, rest of the techniques will be discussed in next class. So, this is all for today. Thank you.